what's up, everybody? Welcome into the Rush. Siera, Santos, and Kelly Crull here. You know what? This is a show where we get interactive with people,
Okay,
and we haven't done this show together in a while.
I don't know that we have ever done it together.
I think we did it once.
Okay.
I think we did it once.
So I was helping Luke out last week. Well, you hit up Seattle, which was great.
Yeah.
And now Luke's taking his time here. So I'm just,
By the way, Chris says welcome back, Siera. So thanks, Chris.
There you go,
What's
Chris.
up? All right, we want to know where you're watching from. Do a roll call. Who is with us? So I guess we take it away.
I'm with you.
Oh, you are.
Kelly's here.
Kelly's here.
From
Hey.
Noblesville, Indiana. Yay. Hey, go Millers. All right. We have a new intern from Zionsville, Indiana.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
So just
should we give him a shout out?
Yep. Hello.
Do we not know the name? Okay, we'll find out the name later. All right, voice in the sky, Joaquin. Are you there?
We are here. Well, no, I am here.
We're all here.
Let's
We're all here.
talk Cubs, guys.
Physically.
They sweep the Mets over the weekend. 6-1 road trip versus the Mets and the Pirates. Are they hitting their stride, or are they just playing bad teams right now?
I mean, I don't think that they're terrible. They're not terrible teams. I mean, they don't. I guess they're hitting their stride, if you want to say that. What would you say?
There's a little of both. That's what
They're
this
not
is.
terrible
The
teams,
Cubs are
though.
starting to play well. There's no doubt about it. But the Mets are a bad team. The Mets against lefties, they're just awful. Awful. So going against Leicester there yesterday, they had no shot from the beginning. But we're seeing better things. We're seeing guys with runners in scoring position or on third with 2 outs. We're seeing some guys come through that have needed to be better in that situational hitting, and so I think that's good. And we saw, Tyler Chatwood only had 4 walks, but he has got to go deeper in a game. And we saw Jose Quintana put together a nice outing this time on the road. So that's what they wanted to see. Back into the rotation has to be better, and it was on this road trip. But they also were going against the Mets. So.
But the Mets, I'm just trying to say, there's worse teams in Chicago than the Mets. But if you're going to go with that route, then beating a bad team, that's not hitting your stride. That's not hitting your stride. That's like, you want a cookie for beating bad teams? That doesn't make any sense. That's like, it's like having a graduation party for somebody who is graduating 8th grade. Okay, congratulations, you made it to high school. No, call me when you finish your master's, and then we can have a party.
I wasn't really sure where you were going with that.
No,
but
do you understand?
Now I get it.
Okay, so for the Cubs, beating the Mets shouldn't be like, oh my God, yay. It should be, let's think about postseason World Series. That is their master's.
But then again, you don't want to be hitting your stride in June. You want to be making strides, and they are making strides. But you have to put away teams like the Mets. You can't let teams like, them hang around. And this time they took care of business. I'm still thinking back to the very beginning of the season where they split with a team like the Marlins. And there have been other teams they've let come in to Wrigley and sort of hang around. And they can't afford to do that. And this weekend they didn't. They did what they needed to do, and in the process saw some good things. So
by the way, I hate 8th grade. I hate 8th grade graduation parties. If you have an 8th grade graduation party, you also get participation medals, okay? Can I say hi to a couple people really quick?
Please do. And wish him happy graduation.
Daryl from Peoria, he just graduated from the 8th grade. Just kidding.
Congrats.
Alex from Addison, he is watching. We've got Glenn watching from San Fernando, Philippines. That's cool.
Wow, long ways away.
We've got Davude in Chicago. We've got Marshalltown, Iowa, in the house. That's Jason Fisher. By the way, John says he loves the show Beer Money.
Yeah, Beer Money. John, come out. We always NBCS Beer Money. That's our Twitter handle, and we have all the locations. Get that little plug in.
We got some Indiana folks in the house, by the way. We got Caesar watching from Fort Wayne. We've got Raymond in Park Ridge. We've got Chris from Valpo. We've got John in Michigan. We've got Russell from Peoria, Tim in Indiana, Jerry from Peru, Chris in New Lenox, Bubby from Huxley, Iowa.
Got a good little
we got a
group
good
here.
mix. But what are the people saying, Joaquin? That's what we want to know.
People are mixed on this. Jay is saying, they're just playing bad teams. Meanwhile, Ruel says a win is a win regardless. Tim says it's both. The Cubs are beating the teams they're supposed to beat. Meanwhile, Adam says beat the teams we're supposed to beat and not playing down to their level.
Okay.
Siera, you're basically saying, if you're not first, you're last? Is that basically what you're implying?
No, I'm just saying that you shouldn't be rewarded for graduating the 8th grade. That should be a given. If you can't make it to high school, you're doing something wrong with your life. All right, can we move on?
No participation trophies for Siera.
I think we should.
All right, next topic, guys. Jake Arrieta not happy with his team right now. They score 1 run in the weekend series against the Giants. Guess who produced that run?
Yeah, he did.
Jake Arrieta himself. So he's not happy with his team's overall performance. Take a listen to this, guys.
Overall, it's just really horrible series. Really bad. Really bad. We scored 1 run. Scored 1 run. Yeah, that's not good.
And you scored it. I mean, is that...
Yeah, it's not good. We need some accountability all the way around. Everybody, top to bottom.
Do you think there's wherewithal in this clubhouse to have that accountability?
Well, if there's not, I'll make sure there is.
Is he justified, guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. I mean, this is the kind of guy, and you covered him, Kelly, so you know that if he's going to make a statement like that, he's really upset.
Yeah.
And it's really affecting him. And, you know, he's the kind of guy that should be the one to make those kinds of statements.
Yeah, they brought Jake Arrieta in to be a leader, and Jake Arrieta is doing what he can to lead that team right now. He is the voice that they wanted to speak up. And from having covered him, like you said, this was a calculated conversation with the media. Jake has probably already talked to Kapler at some point or another about the defensive shifts and wondering what's going on, and maybe not so much analytical. Let's put guys where we think guys can succeed and let's play baseball. I mean, Jake's a guy that goes with his gut, and he gets out there and he competes whether he has his best stuff or not. And that's what he wants guys out there to do, and he doesn't like the mental mistakes. I forget who it was that he called out, but he called out a number of guys. That was his way of kind of holding them accountable and saying that he has to be better too. I mean, he put himself in that group as well. But yeah, I think Jake knows that this time frame, if you will, when it comes to baseball teams that are either hanging with it or not, right here as you enter June, you make a push to be somewhere or you fall behind very quickly, and he knows that the Phillies are in that situation, and he's basically saying, guys, this is the time that we come together. So yeah, I think what Jake said was warranted, and I think it was his way of getting the word out in a different way, because the first time around, I bet he did this, nothing changed.
I've got a question here. This is I want to hear your opinion on this. Ruel wants to say, he said it's justified, but was it the same when Miggy spouted off?
No, I don't think it is. God bless him. I love Miggy. He's one of my favorite players that I've ever covered. But Miggy was covering his own behind. What was it, 8 different guys ran on him in that game? I know Jake was slow to the plate, but Miggy, I mean, you got to take some accountability, and he didn't. This isn't Jake saying, hey, I was bad out there today. No, Jake scored the only run in the entire series. The pitcher did. And he's basically saying, guys, man up. Let's go play. I need you guys to be accountable. So, no, I don't think this is the same as Miggy's situation at all. Not to mention, think about the clubs you're doing this with. There's a very good, as people would call it, infrastructure within the Cubs from the top to the bottom. People very much respect the Jed Hoyers, the Theo Epsteins, the Joe Maddens, and what they're doing. You don't have to be the guy then that comes out and sort of calls out what you're doing from an organizational standpoint. But with the Phillies and a new manager, young guys, you kind of do have to be that guy. So I think it's a different situation altogether. What Miguel Montero was doing, that was covering his own butt.
All right, Joaquin.
Got a few other comments coming in. Yeah, Tim says, yes, if your team is playing terrible, a proven winner like Arrieta is allowed to call them out. Meanwhile, Kevin Gliwa, he says, well, Jake's first mistake was not coming back to the Cubs. Second mistake was signing with the Phillies. So who holds the accountability for him signing on this team? Jake, what did you really think was going to happen going to a rebuilding team who is overachieving right now?
I don't know that it was Jake Arrieta's fault, to be quite honest with you.
Jake Arrieta was wanting to get paid. Jake Arrieta earned being paid, and he wasn't getting that with the Cubs the way he had hoped for. Now, granted, the whole offseason went differently than he had planned as well. But I actually think, he went out there, and now who was it, the viewer that was saying this? I don't know that it was really Arrieta thinking that things would be different. I think he just knows the situation he's in now, and he's asking guys, And he's being the leader they brought him in to be.
Sure.
Asking guys to play.
Adam Riley wants to know, is Jake pitching against the Cubs this week?
He's not. And Yu Darvish is not going either. So this whole series had so much potential.
Yeah.
But now it's just the Phillies and the Cubs.
Glenn says he's trying to light a fire underneath the Phillies. Matt says boo-hoo. So boo-hoo to Jake Arrieta, apparently. All right,
final topic of the show, the rush. Topic number 3. Warriors win
Let's get
easily
excited.
last night. I am excited about this topic.
Yeah, way to sell the show.
I am excited about this topic. Warriors won easily last night, looking like vintage Golden State, up 2-0. Is this series over?
We just talked about this. We were back there getting ready for this show, and I want you to say what you said to me.
The series was over before it started. However, I think Cleveland can take Game 3. But boy, oh boy, when
they're not going to get swept. I mean, the series, yeah, you're right. The series was already over before it started, but they're not going to get swept.
I mean, Golden State saw Kevin Durant come into his own last night, and when you have 4 guys over 20 points, and they're the guys that we looked at the end of the night in the stat sheet, it's going to be hard to ever beat Golden State, even with Cleveland at its very best. We're getting to watch all that LeBron has to pour out of the tank, and boy, it's fun. But no, this series is over. I don't think Cleveland will get swept, but
Jay said it's over, but I also remember LeBron being down 3-1 and came back and won a championship.
Yeah, and he had a different
Just
team.
Saying, Tim says the NBA Finals is a joke. It's over. The Stanley Cup Final 2018 was better. Jerry says, I don't care. I don't watch the NBA. And Gustavo says 4-1 Warriors. Chris says Steph is better than LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that.
9 made 3-pointers last night. That's an NBA Finals record.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I don't know that you beat Golden State when Steph's playing like that, and certainly not when again, Durant's the guy that this all comes together for, becoming even more of the. I'm trying to think. I'm having a hard time. No, what's the David versus Goliath? That's what this match was in a way, and the Goliath's even bigger now because Durant's playing like KD can play.
But isn't LeBron a Goliath himself?
He is. But at what point you got to have somebody that can capably play with you on the court?
Sure. And I mean, did you see that conversation between was it Jared Dudley and Jamal Crawford on Twitter?
I didn't catch this.
Oh, you got to go look it up. We got to go look it up. It's they were having a public conversation via Twitter talking about how LeBron just doesn't have anyone to back him up and that he's not going to win a championship with this team. He also predicted that he would end up in Houston.
Ooh, that's
but he would also have to opt out and be traded.
He thinks he's going to the West then.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but of course, then there's going to be a whole lot of jersey burning. And
that's good. Now I'm like thinking about that. Okay.
Again. Emiliano, hi.
Yeah, what does everybody else think about it? We're not into the NBA Finals now, huh?
No, Daryl says James is good, but he's a crybaby. Ruel says, will it end the LeBron versus MJ debate? LOL. Emiliano wants to know, how come the MLB draft is not a topic? Well, Emiliano,
it could be.
Emiliano, tell us who's going to get drafted, 1 through 30. I'll wait. I'll wait, Emiliano. No, actually, I won't. Tonight, we got plenty to talk about on Sports Talk Live. You know who's hosting?
Who? It's not the Catman.
No,
huh?
it's Mark.
Who's filling in?
Mark
Shanowski.
He's always zippy with the one-liners. All right, he's in the chair tonight. The NBA Finals, of course, a really hot topic, and there's no better man to talk about it than Mark Shanowski. Plus, we got more on Jake Arrieta coming back to Chicago, and both the Cubs and White Sox get ready for their series openers tomorrow night.
And later tonight, the White Sox have the 4th overall pick. Here's our draft, MLB draft.
Yeah.
4th overall pick in the MLB draft. We will be on Periscope to break it all down. So who was it, Emiliano, sorry. Periscope, that's your place. Break it down, we'll do that, give you all the info on the newest White Sox player. And remember to join us, as always, on The Rush every weekday at 5 p.m. We will see you tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow, guys. I'm glad to be back.